How's it going, guys? Welcome to today's video. Now winter jobs are not far away. Things are quickly changing around here. Weather's still pretty good, but we did a grass walk yesterday and things are a bit tight. I was hoping to get away, keeping cows out full time for another few days because we need some work to do on some of our scrapers in the cubicles, and the guys in Dairy Power are coming out in a couple of days to sort that out. Marianne did a grass walk yesterday and things are a bit tight, so we can either keep the cows out full time until the scrapers are fixed and then come in full time, which is not really what we want to do, or we can start keeping the cows in by night and we'll get a little bit longer, more days out of grass, which would be a little bit nicer. A good bit of silage out there this morning because cows are going to be coming in tonight. So unfortunately this scraper rope is gone, that scraper bearing is gone, so two of them aren't running. That one's running, but also all 6 scrapers are very worn. They've worn down a lot. They do a lot of work when they're here. They're running every 2 hours during the winter, and all the bases of the scrapers are completely worn and it's starting to break the ropes and cause problems. So the guys are going to be replacing all of the scrapers, and then maybe we might try work at tipping away at redoing those scrapers, welding on plates and stuff to the bottom of them, so in another 5, 6, 7 years, whenever the new scrapers wear out, we can just swap them and we don't have to get new ones. But it's probably going to be too much work and take too long to go and do that all right now, so we're just going to replace them. Mariana is going to line the cubicles and scrape out the pastures with the tractor that the scrapers aren't working in, and take down the gates and open up the cubicles so that when the cows come in this evening they can lie down and they will be in for the night. I am going to be going and bring home the heifers. We got a cattle trailer up here. These are next year's vasectomized bulls. They're going to be grazing these couple of paddocks here, or at least one of them now before they come in. And then the in-calf heifers are to come home. 62 to come home all together. A little bit less than normal because this year we are going to be wintering less cows. We have found over the last couple of years that we don't need to winter as many cows. Normally we always winter a few extra in-calf cows than what we're planning to milk, because during the springtime you'll have a few losses. You might, dry off some cows due to maybe they have some mastitis issues in spring, or some cows might get sick. There's always, usually any of your losses are usually going to happen around that time of the year, so we always carry a few extra. But in the last few years we found our animal health has really improved, so the amount of losses we get at that time of year has really reduced. This is just a couple of different strategies with vaccines and stuff that we've started using has improved our animal health, so we can winter closer to what we actually are going to milk, which is great. Also, we've decided to cut back on numbers for next year. The last couple of years now, they have been 2 pretty tough years, but we have also found that we've maybe just been carrying a few too many cows for what we would like, and we haven't actually produced any extra kilos of milk solids, because even though we've been up in numbers, our milk solids per cow has dropped because it's just putting a little too much pressure on the system. So the plan is to go back towards the numbers we were at a couple of years ago, closer to the 400 mark, and that'll just take a little bit of pressure off and we could get better performance out of the cows. It'll be a little bit less work and we'll actually be just making more money. I suppose we have been expanding for quite a long time over the last number of years, when we end up buying more land, leasing more land to join the block. So the last couple of years it's kind of been more figuring out what is the right stocking rate to be at. So sometimes you have to go a little bit too far to know where the right spot is. So, cattle trailer on. I'm going to be bringing these heifers to that big field you've seen us do 4 cuts of silage on. I'm going to graze that with the heifers it's just a bit awkward to walk the cows over there, and also I don't really want to zero graze it because you have to drive in through another field, and it's just gonna muck it up a bit. I'm just gonna graze it with the heifers, and maybe if we dry off a few cows, we'll let them join them. Last few years we have just put the heifers straight in when they came home, but I particularly don't want them going in when the scrapers aren't working, because one of the main things we want to do is when they come in is make sure it's set up that they'll lie down in the cubicles. We don't want to get them in the habit of lying on concrete, and there's always a few who will. Good girl. Up now. Up, there you go. Good girl. Up you go, up you go, up you go. Go on, go on. Go on, good girl. Shh, that's it. Shh, go on, hep, hep. So there's the weanling heifers. They're just in there a couple of days now, I think. That's the lightest of them. There's some more in the sheds below. So this is where the cows are going, or the heifers are going to be going. Now this is the field we took 4 cuts of silage off this year. So there's not a huge amount of grass on it. Probably I cover 2,700 on it, but by the time we get to the end of the month there's going to be a bit too much grass on this paddock, I think, for next year. Given it's awkward to graze with the cows, awkward to graze with the cows, I think it would be better we'll just graze it with these now, and then if we can't get to it in the spring or whatever, we can just go straight into first cut. It's just going to be the one load for today because it's probably going to be dark by the time I have the next load picked up and get back. I don't want to be here in the dark. This way now. Come on, girls. Let's go. Come on. Come on, what's wrong with you? Shh. Shh. Go on, girl. Come on. Good girl. Come. Good girl. Good girl. Go on. Go on. Come on, let's do this. No, you can just hold it there. There's a bit of a hole here. I didn't want to drive into it, but it's making the ramp quite steep. The rest of them were fine. I'll just back a bit, might make the ramp less steep. Okay, that's a little bit better. Right, finally got her out. That's 13 back. She must like my driving that she'd rather stay in the trailer than be out here. We could fit 14 or 15 in the trailer, but it doesn't work out. Carrying that many means we'll have a half load at the end, whereas we bring 10 or 12 or 12 or 13 each time. That's what's going to work out. We're going to leave it at that for today and get back to this job in the morning. Right, so it's the following day there now. We got milking done this morning and about to head off and get the next load of heifers. Go on, girls, go on. Okay, so we're just back for a bit of lunch. A few cows here in these cubicles beside the parlour. I pulled them out this morning. There, we're going to be drying them off first. So just waiting on the results to come back from last milk carton. But all of these cows are pretty much gone dry themselves anyway. We're going to give them some hay. That'll help to, well, definitely make sure they're gone dry, but they don't really need that much. But particularly for their dung, it'll make it much more solid, drier. It'll dry up their dung, so that'll reduce any splashes or dirt risk when we are drying them off. Now, just 10 of them. The last few heifers now. Let's go on, hip, 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 hip. Well, that's the last of the heifers home there now. Just after getting dark. Hey, go on. That's going to be all for today's video, guys. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.